All right, like, click, and subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. Detroit Lions taking on Chicago Bears. Matt Stafford was balling out. 27 of 42, 402 yards, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Adrian Peterson, 57 yards and 2 TDs. Marvin Jones, 116 yards and 1 TD. Mitch Trubisky, 26 of 34, 267 yards, 1 TD. David Montgomery, 72 yards and 2 TDs. Cole Kmet, 37 yards and a TD. David Montgomery starts it off. Touchdown Bears. And of course, you know, Adrian Peterson had to respond back. Touchdown Lions. But then Cordell Patterson will come back and respond. Touchdown Bears. But Stafford launches a bomb to Quintez Cephas. That's how you pronounce the name. Touchdown Lions. But David Montgomery pushes it in. He said, "May I have another, sir? Thank you." Touchdown Bears. And apparently Matt Stafford has a Western outlaw on his team because he's got a touchdown to Jesse James. Touchdown Lions. Kaminsky hits off Cole Kmet. Touchdown Bears. They got a good little 10-point lead right now in the fourth. But here comes Matt Stafford again, airing it out to Marvin Jones Jr. Touchdown Lions, 3-point game. 2 minutes left on the clock. But then they get the ball back. They get another AP sighting. He says, "I'm getting 2 today too." Touchdown Lions. And the Lions end up beating the Bears 34-30. This is the Bears' 6th straight loss so far. They were 5-1. Now they're 5-7. What the heck is happening in Chicago? And up next, you got the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Taysom Hill was doing his thing today. 27-37, 232 yards and 2 TDs. Alvin Kamara, 88 yards and 1 TD. Mike Thomas, welcome back, 105 yards. Matt Ryan, 19-39, 273 yards, 1 TD. Ito Smith, 36 yards. Calvin Ridley, 108 yards. Yeah. And Taysom Smith actually throws his first TD pass in the league to a wide open Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. Couple field goals later, but here you go. Jared Cook catches his in his zone. Another touchdown Saints. And the Saints game obviously wouldn't be a Saints game without Alvin Kamara getting in the end zone. Touchdown Saints, spreading the lead. We get into the fourth quarter. Matt Ryan hits Russell Gage, getting a touchdown. But the bottom line here is the Saints end up beating the Falcons 21-16. They are 10-2 and automatically qualify for a playoff berth. And up next, you got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. Phillip Rivers in this game went 27 of 35, 285 yards and 2 TDs. Jonathan Taylor, 93 yards. T.Y. Hilton, 170 yards and a TD. Deshaun Watson, 26 of 38, 341 yards and a pick. David Johnson, 44 yards and a TD. Kiki QT, 141 yards. And Phillip Rivers throws in. T.Y. Hilton is back in perspective again. His second touchdown of the season. Back to regular status. Touchdown Colts. And Deshaun Watson says, "You know what? I know my year has been garbage, but bottom line is you want something done right, do it yourself." Touchdown Texans. And let's get my dude Nyheim Hines in the business. There he goes, gliding in. Touchdown Colts. They take the lead. And Rivers passes to John Taylor. He says, "I'm going to get my foot in too." Here we go, gliding in. Touchdown Colts. But David Johnson was his piece of the action. Touchdown Texans. 17-21. And stuff like this never happens to Deshaun Watson. It shouldn't, but it did. Safety. Colts 26-20. And the Colts end up beating the Texans 26-20 because of this right here. Oh my God, a crazy snap. And yes, that happened. Indianapolis Colts 8-4. Houston falls to 4-8. A rare mistake by Watson. That never usually happens. But bottom line is it happened here today. And up next, you got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, 26-39, 296 yards, 1 TD. Myles Gaskins, 90 yards. Mike Gesicki, 88 yards at a TD. Brandon Allen, 11-19, 153 yards at a TD, 1 pick. Giovanni Bernard, 30 yards. Tyler Boyd, 72 yards and a TD. And speaking of Tyler Boyd, let's just get to him right off the back. You already know what time it is. He's rushing down there, beating defenders. That's got to be a 62-yard TD or something like that. Touchdown, Bengals. They started off right. And a couple of field goals later, but it wasn't until the third quarter till Mike Gesicki gets himself a touchdown, and they take the lead on the Bengals. Bottom line, Jason Sanders hit about 4 field goals. Miami ended up beating Cincinnati 19-7. They improved at 8-4 in the season. And up next, what you thought would have been the main event of 1 o'clock games is the Cleveland Browns taking on the Tennessee Titans. The Browns ended up beating the Titans 41-35, but trust me, it was not that close from the start. Baker Mayfield, 25 of 33, 334 yards, 4 TDs, and those 4 TDs actually came in the first half. Nick Chubb, 80 yards and a TD. Rashard Higgins, 95 yards and a TD. Ryan Tannehill, 29 of 45, 389 yards, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Derrick Henry was only held to 60 yards. Yes, that happened. Corey Davis, 182 yards and a TD. Yeah. And Mayfield will leave it to Jarvis Landry to get the mayhem started. Touchdown, Cleveland. And then Baker throws it. He launches it to offensive tackle Kendall Lamb. Wow, that's amazing. Another touchdown for the Browns. And then Corey Davis said he had enough of the hooligans and shenanigans and all that stuff. Touchdown, Tennessee. But then Mayfield hits Donovan Peoples and says, we'll deal all the shenanigans we want. Touchdown, Cleveland, 24-7. And once again, Baker Mayfield is going crazy in the first half. He hit Rashard Higgins off. Touchdown, Cleveland. Look at that score. It's 31-7. It is still halftime. Your eyes are not deceiving you. And then they gave Baker Mayfield a break. He was going to run it in and get Nick Chubb to run it in. Touchdown, Cleveland. This is the score at halftime. Yes, Cleveland was doing this. But then Ryan Tannehill passed to Miko Perut. He said he had enough. We about to come back in this game. Touchdown, Titans. And then Ryan Tannehill said, you know what, give me another one too. Matter of fact, get it in my hands. There you go. Miko picks it back up. Touchdown, Titans. And then Ryan Tannehill hits off Jeremy Nichols. Not Derrick Henry. Jeremy Nichols runs it in there for a TD. Touchdown, Tennessee. And he got 32 seconds left to catch for Cameron Bate. He ends up scoring. But like I said, Cleveland beat him 41-35. This is the best Cleveland record we've seen since 1994. Baker's listening to reason. He's starting to look a little elite out there. And up next, we got Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, there you go. You got some overtime mayhem. Kirk Cousins, 28 of 43, 305 yards, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Dalvin Cook, 120 yards. Justin Jefferson, 121 yards and a TD. Mike Glennon, yeah, that's a blast from the past right there. 28 of 42, 280 yards, 1 TD, and 2 picks. James Robinson, 78 yards and a TD. Laviska Shenault, 38 yards and a TD. And speaking of Laviska, there you go. He scores and gets it popping off first. Touchdown, Jaguars. And in the second quarter, you already know what it is. Mr. Touchdown Swag, Adam Thielen, TD, Vikings. And then all of a sudden, Kirk Cousins does this. Easy pick by Joe Schubert, running it back. Touchdown, Jaguars, increasing the lead. But then he makes it up by giving it to C.J. Ham and running it in for the TD. Touchdown, Vikings. And then you know you got to hit Justin Jefferson in there. Touchdown. They take the lead. Get it with the gritty. There you go. Fire right there. Everybody in the league does that now. And then apparently another safety takes place today as Mike Glennon gets sacked. 2 points for Minnesota. 21-16. But then James Robinson said, the heck with all that. I'm getting mine, and that's that. Touchdown, Jacksonville. And he launches over, gets the 2-point conversion. Tie game, 24 apiece. Doing his own gritty. The 51-yard field goal was a attempt, 16 seconds out. It was no good. They went in overtime. And then we got a 23-yard in overtime. He kicks it. It's good. Minnesota takes the win. They're still alive out here. They go to 6-6. And then we got the craziness. The Las Vegas Raiders taking on those winless New York Jets. Derek Carr was 28 of 47, 381 yards, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Devontae Booker, 50 yards. Darren Waller went crazy, 200 yards and 2 TDs today. Sam Darnold, 14 of 23, 186 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. Ty Johnson, 104 yards and a TD. Jamison Crowder, 47 yards and 2 TDs. And let's just start it off with Jamison Crowder. He gets in, touchdown, Jets, 7-0. And Waller said, oh, you want the beef? We gonna bring the beef. Darren Waller, touchdown, tie game, Raiders. But then Jamison Crowder said, you want to play tit for tat, Waller? All right, I got you. Touchdown, Jets, 14-7. But then Waller says, right back at you, I got this. You already know what time it is. Touchdown, Raiders. They take the lead. But Derek Carr says, heck, when I'm running it in myself, I stick my hand out this time and not dive with it and try to fall over it. But bottom line is, he did it right. Touchdown, Raiders in the lead, 24-13. But then Sam Darnold says, monkey see, monkey do. Right back at you. Touchdown, Jets. And Darnold does not get the 2-point conversion. And it tried to return. It was crazy. But it was pass interference. They tried it again, and the attempt was good. 21-24. And then he heads up to T.Y. Johnson. Touchdown, Jets. They take the lead with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. 28-24. All right, so it's 24-28. 13 seconds left. 3rd and 10. They're back at their own 40. Oh, they're back at the 46-yard line, right? They need to score a touchdown, and the Jets do cover 0. I'm like, are you serious? They were thinking to themselves, they could possibly win this game. Oh, God, we might give up our pick against Trevor Lawrence. Why don't we just do cover 0, leave Henry Ruggs wide open, and score a touchdown the last 5 seconds of the game so we could give the Raiders the win? Like, really? And the Jets go 0-12. The Raiders are staying alive 7-5 in the playoff race. It's freaking ridiculous. And because of that, they officially fired the defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, of the Jets. But trust indeed, a whole lot will need to go throughout that organization before it's all said and done. I promise you that.